Now, remaining with the expats votes abroad, Sabc Correspondent Ira Spitzer now joins us from Berlin, where South Africans living there are expected to vote. Ira, what is the turnout where you are?
Well, I'm standing in front of the South African embassy here in the German capital of Berlin, and election officials tell me that so far about 30 people have stopped by the embassy here to cast their ballots. Now, of course, we're expecting several hundred more over the course of the day. There are about 400 people who have registered to vote at this polling place in Berlin, and then about another 400 in the southern German city of Munich. So those are the two places where South Africans who reside in Germany are allowed to vote in this year's election. And from some of the people I've talked to this morning, have come pretty far. I talked to a couple of first-time voters who'd driven all the way from the city of Bremen. That's a few hours away from here to cast their ballots for the first time. So a lot of anticipation here as the day progresses.
For the few that have come through, have you been able to have conversations with them about what this means for them?
Well, certainly the people that I've spoken with, both the voters as well as the people working here, really do see this as a chance to participate in democracy. And of course, how appropriate on Freedom Day to have the chance, even while living in Germany, to take part in these important elections back in South Africa. So it's certainly a very meaningful event and a meaningful right for the South Africans living in Germany as well as around the world. There are close to 30,000 South Africans who have signed up to cast their ballots this year from places as far away as London, the United States, of course, here in Germany, and really all over the world. And the way this is going to work is voters will have really the rest of the day here to cast their ballots. Again, most are probably going to come when it gets a little bit later here. It's still relatively early in Germany, the same time as in South Africa, actually. And then at the end of the day, the votes will be placed into a sealed envelope sent back to South Africa, where they will eventually be counted when the rest of the country goes to the polls on May 8th.
So at the very same time that they're voting, South Africa is celebrating 25 years of freedom. Is this even affected into their mood today as they go in to cast their ballots?
Well, I think certainly the fact that it is the holiday in South Africa, such an important holiday, is something that is not lost on the people who are streaming in here. You can see some of them going behind me there. And from some of the conversations online that I've been monitoring in the build-up to the vote, you can see that the South Africans who are coming to Berlin do have plans to meet later in the day, perhaps to get to know each other. So I think the ability to vote and to come from, in some cases, relatively far away within Germany to vote in Berlin will also bring South Africans together in a celebration of democracy, so to speak.
All right, give us a sense of the South African community in Germany. What mostly attracts South Africans to that country?
Well, there are several thousand South Africans who reside in Germany. Of course, not as many as you'll find in the United Kingdom, but the South Africans here come for a variety of reasons. Some of the people I talked to this morning had come, these are some of the younger voters, had come to be students. There's certainly South African professionals who move to Germany or come stay in Germany for a few years for professional reasons. So there's really kind of I don't know if there's a specific industry necessarily that draws South Africans, but there certainly is a relatively vibrant community here in Berlin as well as in the rest of Germany for the South Africans who have decided to live here.
Thank you very much for that update.